Hello and welcome to Old Nerd Reads' Marvel Comics in Order. This is episode 59. This time I read, as you can see, Marvel Team Up number 50, the October 1976 issue of this title. I've been reading my Marvel Comics collection in publication day order. That's the theme of this series. Gives me a good excuse to go back and reread everything as it came out, which is something I've wanted to do for a long time. I'm just getting started, so stick around for plenty more. This copy is in pretty nice shape. Yeah, I would say this is a very finer. Not too yellowed. The pages aren't too yellowed. Cover's nice. There aren't a whole lot of spine ticks on it. Back cover's still pretty white for the most part. A little bit of a spine roll there. Not a big deal. Nice copy, and that's good because the Wraith makes it a little bit more of a valuable issue. You've got Jean DeWolf in here. Her first appearance was the prior issue, was it, or was it the issue before that? I can't remember now. And the Wraith and the whole Jean DeWolf saga that resolves, I think, in Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, and maybe like 8 or 10 years after this. I can't remember when, but Jean DeWolf, I think, is killed somehow, maybe by the Sin Eater. Boy, I don't know. I'll get there, though, in this series. We'll get there. Stick around. But nice copy. Again, we've got the team of Bill Mantlo, Sal Buscema, Mike Esposito. Archie Goodwin is now our editor-in-chief. Great splash page by Sal and Mike with all of our characters. The Wraith, Iron Man, Doctor Strange, and Spidey, of course. This issue, of course, is guest starring Doctor Strange. He gets pulled in because of the continuing saga of the Wraith. And let's see what's going on. So Spider-Man breaks into Doctor Strange's Sanctum Sanctorum to get his help. Now, is it just me, or is this not Vincent Price? That sure looks like Vincent Price to me. I think Sal Buscema was drawing Vincent Price when he was drawing Doctor Strange. Just a hunch. So, Spidey needs help with the Wraith because the mystery has grown deeper. Jean DeWolf is the chief of police, or a captain of the police precinct where this is all happening. Her brother was gunned down a few years prior, and her father is an ex-commissioner, police commissioner, and it's a whole family intrigue going on. But we need to know, since last issue a note was given to Jean DeWolf by her father supposedly from her dead brother, and now we are going to get Spidey is going to get Doctor Strange's help in figuring out if it's possible that Jean DeWolf's brother Brian is still alive. That's why he broke into Doctor Strange's Sanctum Sanctorum. And here's Jean DeWolf and her roadster and Iron Man. They're doing a little flirting here. Here's where we part company. A pity, fair lady. We're just starting to get to know each other. I'll bet you say that to every female police captain you run into. I'm not telling. Little flirting going on. So she gives us a little recap of what's happened over the last few issues. The Wraith, of course, has been fighting with Spidey and Iron Man. Jean's father shows up, who's a pretty angry old man. Doesn't like that a female has the position of captain in the police department. Wanted his son, her older brother Brian, to have the spot, but he was gunned down by some bad guys, and she got the spot, and her father seems to be upset about that. And that's kind of where we pick up this issue. Spidey convinces Doctor Strange to help. The Wraith has a lair underneath the cemetery, and we're going to find out how that happened in this issue as well. But once the Wraith gets down there, he freezes, and we're going to find out why that is as well. Now we've got Jean DeWolf. She's she's followed the Wraith into his underground lair, entrance way through this crypt. Spider-Man and Doctor Strange go to where the scene of the crime happened a few years previous, where Jean DeWolf's brother was killed. And they're able, with Doctor Strange's power, to review the events. Gives them a few clues. This other person, who I believe is the ex-commissioner, Jean DeWolf's father, the father of Brian DeWolf, this is his father, carries him away. So Spider-Man already has a hunch as to where to find them. They take off. Meanwhile, Tony Stark back at Stark Labs is analyzing the letter from supposedly Brian DeWolf. Finds a fingerprint on it. And he, using S.H.I.E.L.D.'s files, computer files, discovers that the fingerprint belongs to Jean DeWolf's father, Philip DeWolf. Now we're back in the underground lair. We don't know who this shadowy person is yet controlling things. But here Jean DeWolf walks in and discovers that it is her father, Philip DeWolf. And now we're going to go into a whole bit about... Now, and she discovers now that the Wraith is somebody very shocking. Can anyone out there guess who it might be? Spider-Man and Doctor Strange arrive. We use the Wraith's psi powers to make them think that they're being attacked by these giant hands, when they're not really being attacked at all. It's all in their mind. That's the Wraith's power. But here we get an explanation. It's Brian DeWolf. It's a dead brother. And he's being controlled by his father, Philip. But Spider-Man and Doctor Strange are now captured. Iron Man has this, what does he call it? Alpha Jammer. Transistorized Alpha Jammer he pieced together from a S.H.I.E.L.D. Esper unit original. He's going to use that to try and disrupt the Wraith's power. So he brings that along. Meanwhile, Spider-Man and Doctor Strange are trying to escape, while Philip DeWolf tells the story, the origin story of the Wraith to his daughter. Oh, the letters page in this issue. Everybody's really happy. The first few Marvel team-up issues I read back, 10 issues or... I guess I think my earliest issues of Marvel team-up were in the 30s, late 30s. I started with the Frankenstein and the werewolf issues, where Spidey went to a castle in Germany. Apparently up to then, a lot of readers were pretty unhappy with Marvel Team Up because it didn't feel like it was in continuity. It would be a one issue and done kind of story, and it didn't feel like it had any effects in the Amazing Spider-Man or the rest of the Marvel Universe proper. Now, a lot of these letters are talking about, especially with the last story arc that had the Scarlet Witch, the Vision, Moondragon, Doctor Doom, and they all traveled back in time to the Salem witch trials, and that was like a 4-issue long thing. And everybody's really happy about Bill Mantlo doing that, and having some repercussions in the Marvel Universe, the main Marvel Universe, and whatnot. So people are starting to be more happy. The first letters pages in my earlier issues, people were complaining that they were all standalones and didn't have any repercussions, didn't feel like they fit into the Marvel Universe proper. But now Bill Mantlo has fixed that. But here we're continuing with the Wraith's origin. This Ray, I don't know, basically Brian DeWolf, after being shot, was a vegetable. He was still alive, but a vegetable. And using some rich investors, Philip DeWolf was able to build this lair under the cemetery, under Brian's crypt in the cemetery, have this machine installed that was to fix him, but there's a fight. Philip DeWolf is knocked into the ray of the machine, which hits both him and Brian at the same time, and it kind of melts their minds together. They have a mind link now. So whenever Philip DeWolf does something and wants to control Brian, he can, but Brian is still mindless. So his father controls his body basically, and he discovered that it gave him these psi powers as well. He could turn his wishes into reality, and he was able to levitate that machine. So that's the origin story of the Wraith. But now, of course, Philip DeWolf's gone quite mad, and is using the Wraith to attack everyone. Luckily, Iron Man shows up with his Psi Jammer helmet and is able to put it on Philip DeWolf's head, blocking his link to the Wraith. And that is where we're going to leave off. That is our cliffhanger. The bad guys are defeated. It's our cliffhanger. That's not a very good cliffhanger. The good guys have won. Cliffhanger. That doesn't really make for a good cliffhanger. But I guess next issue, the trial of the Wraith. So everybody's going to show up again next issue for some courtroom drama, I guess. But yeah, this is another fun issue. I'm pretty happy with these Marvel team-ups. These are a lot of fun. I just read this last night at work. Papa Rick, him and I have got good overnight jobs where we can take our comics to work and read them. I just read this last night at work, and I was like, man, these are really good. Marvel Team Up was a lot of fun back then, and I wish we still had this type of comic book today coming out of Marvel. Unfortunately, we don't. But that's it for this time. Like I said, there's more to come in this series of Old Nerd reading his Marvel comics in order. So stick around for more. If you have anything to add to what I just went through in this video, please comment it down below. Otherwise, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.